Will Davis is our referee. And a blast on the whistle from him. And it's London City Lionesses who get the match underway. 3-1 victory at Villa Park back in November, which in many ways was one of their high points of the season, particularly away from home. As Kumagai goes across towards Cardinal, but she's just forced back and may have to use Leite, the goalkeeper here, who was quickly closed down, but she just manages to get the ball away. And now Gallardo finding Pattinson. Gallardo again, quickly under pressure from Jean-Francois. Two players who'll be very familiar with each other. Molly-Mae Sharp is with us here today. As Villa have to do some defending here, and in the end the ball has been overrun and it's scrambled away, and it was a good run forward from Goodwin, and she kept going and going, and Villa almost stood off, and in the end it was a rather desperate clearance.
Yeah, what a start from London City Lionesses here. Goodwin latches on to the end of that ball. She keeper, but it's just a little bit too much in the end, and she just does end up running out of play. Anna Patton there struggling to keep up with her, and it's just a tight angle for her to finish that, but great. Yeah.
And the first quarter of the game for London City, and Villa have pulled everybody back inside their penalty area to try and defend this. Goodwin makes the run towards the near post, but it's high towards Kumagai, but she's unable to gather that, and it will be a goal kick.
You could see what Poppy Patterson was trying to do there, though. Lofted into the back post for Kumagai to get onto the end of it, but just went out of play just a little bit too fast for her there.
Saki Kumagai, one of a number of veteran players in this team, and it will be interesting to see what London City do during this summer, whether they go down the veteran route again and try and sign some more world-class names, or try and do something different for their second season at this level.
I mean, they've made it very clear that, you know, they do want to be in that Champions League spot at some point in the near future, so they will have to, you know, invest heavily and get some young talent in, as well as, you know, experienced older players.
Cascarino was closed down there, but Kennedy finding Pattinson. And back to Kumagai, one of the Champions League winners in this London City side. Now Pattinson. And Cascarino, another one of the marquee names signed this season. And Kumagai again, who is extremely deep at the start of this game, almost acting as a third central defender at times, but it's a good ball forward, which is cut out by Moritz. Cardinal, though, wins the header. Gallardo, and Villa will have the throw-in.
Yeah, it's a good start here from London City Lionesses. Villa have really not had much of the ball, but you can see how important Gallardo and Kumagai at the back to this team. They really make things tick.
But Villa aside, who are heading for a disappointing end to the season. Only 4 points in 9 games. 3 successive defeats. And after a real period of progress since their arrival in the Women's Super League, improving their league position year on year, that's not going to happen this season, and there is a risk, if results go against them today, that they could finish up just 1 place off the bottom with only Leicester City beneath them. Roebuck finding Patton. Wilms is in space on this near side. Patton, though, under pressure from Gallardo. Now Roebuck, who has shared the gloves this season with Sabrina D'Angelo. And Wilms trying to get forward here, but cut off by Pattinson. And Kumagai going all the way back to Leite. Sign from Real Sociedad, and both of the managers here today were the coaching team, and they had a very good spell in Liga FA in Spain, behind Barcelona, finishing as runners-up. Cascarino. That's a good ball. Fernandez. Further on to Godfrey. He manages to keep the ball alive. But Villa are finding it very difficult to create anything at the moment. Hansen coming back into a deeper role there, and that really says it all for them.
Absolutely, yeah. Kirsty Hansen dropping in so deep there just to get a touch on the ball, just to receive it. But I feel like when Anna Patton gets on the ball here, she's taking maybe a couple many touches, and Ellie Roebuck's just kind of sitting on the ball. I think Villa need to use the wings a little bit more, because you can see that's where most of the space is in this game.
Well, Kirsty Hansen, the undoubted plus point in the season for Aston Villa. 12 goals, which is more than she scored in her previous 4 seasons combined, and only Rachel Daly, when she had that incredible year 3 seasons ago, has scored more goals for Villa in a WSL season. Gayordo.
Was it 22 from Rachel Daly?
22 in 22, but
crazy.
only 19 since.
It's crazy stats, though.
Crazy stats when you consider she was also playing left back for the national team in that season. But here is Cascarino picking up the loose ball here. She needs support, maybe find it, and it's cleared away by Deslon, but quickly returned and in towards Goodwin, but this time Villa will clear, and maybe the opportunity to break. It was Kendall with a good ball forward. Now Hansen does have support from Hijikata, but Hansen though waits for the challenge from Kumagai, but the ball was won, but it was played forward by Jean-Francois. She nearly found Hijikata.
Yeah, in that situation, I think Villa might have preferred the free kick, because the ball kind of went astray quickly after that foul there. But it's a good run from Kirsty Hansen. She's finally got on the ball. Jean-Francois on this pitch.
Pattinson. Yeah, the pitch here still in really good condition. It's been a busy time here this season, with Bromley, the parent club, also completing a full season in League Two when they won League Two in the men's game. So it's seen plenty of football, but it's the final match on it, and neither side can have too many complaints here today. Moritz. Miri Taylor coming short. Big day for her and her family. She was born in Gillingham, not too far from here, and all of the family have made the journey here today. Moritz. Now Kennedy. Cardinal has to head it forward. Jean-Francois. And that's good play again from Godfrey. She's a player who's had an excellent season for the Lionesses. In amongst all of the world-class talent, she's making a reputation of her own as Gayordo goes down there, but no free kick given. Jean-Francois and Gayordo were part of the Paris Saint-Germain midfield not so long ago. Patton. Back with Roebuck again, who has spent much of the season as the second choice. Of course, a player who was the #1 for England for a decent spell, and certainly vying for the gloves at the time with Mary Earps. Fernandez. Cardinal using the ball well. Pattinson. Kumagai is always available. Kennedy again, who came on and played well at Tottenham last week, scored in that 2-1 defeat.
Yeah, I was doing that game when Kennedy came on. It really changed the game for London City. She was just so calm in the midfield, and she had a couple of good chances, obviously taken her.
She's another player of great experience for club and country, as Miyakata made the running behind there, but it was well seen by Kumagai. Now clipped forward by Perez. But beyond Freya Godfrey. She was 21 years of age last week, Freya Godfrey, and she's got so much to look forward to in the women's game, and London City Lionesses could be a very good platform for her. Hijikata, now Jean-Francois. Hansen. No change there out of Kumagai. And Fernandez going all the way back to Leite. Jean-Francois has got the sort of profile which would make you think she'd be a London City Lionesses player rather than Aston Villa.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got the credentials to play for the Lionesses, but I think she does really well in this midfield for Villa. She runs it, she's happy to get on the ball as a 10, and with Kirsty Hansen playing up front, playing against Kirsty Hansen, she's so strong, she can hold the ball up, so her and Jean-Francois playing up with each other is a good partnership in there.
For this game, and he's had a difficult job in many ways, coming in mid-season, replacing Jean-Céline Precheur. And they've had some good results. Of course, the draw here with Chelsea, and they ran Manchester City very close as well, but only 2 wins in 12 games. Patton. Hijikata. Natalia Arroyo, who was his boss at Real Sociedad. The Villa team find it very difficult to string consistent results together. And here is Goodwin, Gallardo, and now Kennedy. Fernandez. And Kennedy with the crossing opportunity, but it's cleared, recovered by Kumagai. And Kumagai losing out to Hansen, and Villa with the glimpse of a counter-attack there, but no more than that. And it's given away, and Perez was almost in, but it was strong defending from Taylor, and it had to be. Now Wilms. Hijikata. Well, Pattinson has had a strong start to the game.
She has actually. I was just going to say, Poppy Pattinson down this left-hand side for London City Lionesses, just tidying up really nicely. She looks really calm and looks like she's relishing this opportunity to play last home game of the season for this club.
Jean-Francois. Well, Pattinson was injured for the first half of the season, so she'll be keen to make up for lost time.
Yeah, and she's a really good set-piece taker, and I think London City rely quite heavily on that too. So having her back in has been massive for them in this latter half of the season.
Yeah, 9 set-piece goals in total for the Lionesses. Villa have conceded the most goals from corners in the WSL this season, so I'm sure that's something which may become a feature later on as Cascarino fouls Hijikata.
Absolutely. I think, obviously playing for a team, set pieces, especially in the women's game, are absolutely massive in the WSL and the WSL too, so I think teams rely heavily on it, and it's definitely a point where you can get ahead in games and get for your team.
Wilms with the free kick. Now Anna Patton, one of the players who had real success in the United States with Florida State and South Carolina at college level before moving into the professional game with Arsenal. Hijikata. It was looped over the top looking for Hansen, but Hansen very much the lone striker at the moment.
Yeah, and you can tell it's lonely up there when you're on your own. I've been there, but she obviously came to the ball then. The ball goes in behind, and when you are playing with the lone striker, it just runs off the pitch. It's a difficult one. You need to be on the same page with your midfielders and your fullbacks as a striker.
Pattinson will keep this ball in play. Cascarino in support. She can turn now. Maybe had a shooting opportunity, but she's quickly closed down, and now Hansen will bring it clear for Villa. Jean-Francois looking to get forward with her. Hijikata pulling wide. Now Patton again. Two former Arsenal players at the back alongside Moritz. Lionesses makes the run further forward, but it's back to Jean-Francois. Wilms. Now Taylor. Patton again is looking for options further forward and not seeing a huge amount of movement, but maybe now as Deslond tries to make that break down the left, but the ball was overhit.
Yeah, they're switching the ball quite well from left to right, Aston Villa. It just doesn't seem to be getting into that final third as much as they would have hoped.
Yana Fernandez, one of a number of former Barcelona players in this London City Lionesses team. She takes the throw in. And the free kick given to Aston Villa. Leary Taylor, the player who was fouled, and Patton looks to move it quickly. Hansen. But again, it's beyond Lionesses, the American who is on loan from Arsenal. Neither coach has seen their team really create too much so far. Patton. Now Wilms. And if you look at the heat map in possession, it's going to be centering around Patton and Moritz for Villa so far. They've seen so much of the ball, but they've not seen too much going on further forward for them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's a lack of movement from the players around them. I'm not seeing much movement in the midfield and the wings for Villa at the moment. They do seem to kind of just be passing it from side to side, so it will spend a lot of time with the centre-backs, I suppose.
Well, the zones of control really tell you that both teams have been at their most comfortable when they've had the ball at the back. Now Hijikawa. Wilms is closed down. And Kendall just unable to keep the ball in play under pressure from Perez, and it will be a throw into the London City Lionesses. Both of these teams have enjoyed victories against Brighton and Leicester. Their only wins in the calendar year. Goodwin. Now Cascarino. Cascarino does well there to find Gayordo. Pattinson coming forward on the overlap. And now Kennedy. It's the Cardinal, who has had a run of games towards the end of the season. Kennedy. And the Lionesses beginning to move the ball a bit quicker now. Pattinson. And it's a good challenge by Hijikata. Now Cascarino again, and Wilms will just make sure she goes no further. Pattinson will take the throw in. Chilly day, certainly in this part of the world, although it's warming up the longer it goes on. Cascarino, and now Pattinson. Kennedy. Now Cardinal. Kumagai's got plenty of time to pick the pass, and she's found Cascarino, but she's offside.
Yeah, she's looking along the line there as Cascarino, so she needs to do better to keep herself onside. If I was a teammate, I'd be shouting at her to stay on there.
Cascarino, another player who took time to find her fitness after signing in January, made her first start last week against Spurs, following the move from San Diego. And at 29, she's a good age to come into this London City side for next season. Fernandez with the challenge, and she has won the throw-in. Kennedy. Cardinal under pressure from Hansen. Cardinal looking for the big switch. But Pattinson beaten to it by Wilms, who saw that well. Now Hijikata. Wilms with the low cross. And it was just beyond Hansen.
That was a brilliant cross down this right-hand side. Hansen just couldn't get a toe on it, but really good play from Villa, and it comes from a mistake from Cardinal there at the back.
Jean-Francois. Nice Swanga. She's lost out, and London City can regain possession. Fernandez. Godfrey. And the bodies go tumbling, nothing given by the referee, and Villa have the ball back anyway. Jean-Francois unable to gather that, and Kumagai will shepherd it behind.
Really good opportunity for Villa there. I think at the end, Kirsty Hansen's just been a little bit rushed and given it away when she could have played it through to Jean-Francois. But let's look at this. Wilms gets it on the right, and it's a great cross with right foot. Kirsty Hansen gets across, and she can't be tapped in at the back post, but really good effort from Villa.
It's the first time we've really seen London City stretched at the back.
Yeah, it was a bit of a floaty ball from Cardinal over to Poppy Pattinson that was intercepted.
It maybe gives you an indication that London City are just trying to force things at the moment to try and make it happen, because we've reached the midpoint of the first half and neither goalkeeper has really been worked so far. Wilms. Straight to Kennedy. Pattinson. And now Kennedy again. Gayordo will chase, but Patton will get there first. And that's given away to Kennedy. And she can skip into the penalty area here, and she drives it wide. Well, I believe she was entitled to have a go, having won the ball so well.
Well, Alana Kennedy, that was extremely skillful. What a ball over the head of Kendall there. And she just strikes it. Tries to go keeper's near side. Maybe she should have gone keeper's far side, but it's a great effort there, and you can't say she's lost it. Alana Kennedy, that was brilliant.
She did have Isabel Goodwin in support, but it was worth a go.
It's just a flick over the head of Lucia Kendall there. It's a lovely bit of skill.
Hijikata. She's under pressure. Gayordo. Gayordo will eventually get the free kick.
I think here Villa are causing themselves their own problems, to be honest. They're giving it away in this really dangerous, in between the final third and the middle third here, and putting themselves under quite a lot of pressure.
Kennedy. Cascarino. And that will be a throw-in. And again, Villa trying to overplay, and Goodwin. And that takes a deflection off Deslond, and she does well to avoid the corner kick.
Yeah, like I was saying, again, they're giving it away in that really dangerous area. I'm not sure if it's London City's good pressing or Villa nerves, maybe.
And again, Cascarino is flagged offside. Well, Villa hoping to avoid 3 defeats without scoring since the first 3 games that Arroyo had in charge back in March of last year. And it's never good to finish a season on a bad run, because you can often get a bit of a hangover going into the next season.
Yeah, certainly that's what's happened. That's what happened to us at Palace last season going into this season. We just couldn't find form, but I think as much as this game, you could say, you know, both teams are safe, they could both be playing in the WSL, they both want to end the season on a high, and for Villa, they could end up in 11th after this game if they don't win.
Here is Godfrey. And again, London City look for the big switch, and it doesn't come off. But there's a problem here for Wilms, who just seemed to slip as she was challenged there by Godfrey.
Yeah, it looks like she's just hurt her groin, maybe a little bit. Her leg's just gone out underneath her. Yeah.
And you spoke about the defensive nervousness of Villa. Of course, they've conceded 46 goals, and only Leicester have conceded more.
Yeah, they've also scored a lot of goals, which obviously doesn't make it as bad, but I think, yeah, when you are conceding that many and not keeping clean sheets for your defenders and for your keepers, it does become quite nervy, and you don't have that almost backbone of, okay, we might not score that many, but, you know, we'll keep clean sheet.
Well, Kumagai has been robbed there by Hijikata, and it will be a throw-in for Villa. Two players who were involved in Japan's Asian Cup winning team. Taylor. And now Patton. Moritz. Villa have actually won more points away from home this season, and they've conceded 26 in 11 home games, although 7 of those came in the same game against Spurs. Jean-Francois. Now Godfrey. Kumagai. Away from home, Villa were really good in the first half of the season, but they've lost 5 of their last 6 on the road. The only game they've won in that run was away to Leicester City. Cardinal. Leite just forced to hurry there, and Wilms will gather this for Villa. Taylor. Patton. Now Wilms on the overlap again. Crossing opportunity, and it's not being cleared, and in the end scrambled away by Perez, but not the distance they were looking for, and in the end it was Deslond who fired the ball in, but it was over the top.
Yeah, it was a good strike from Deslond, but just a bit over the top. I think probably the effort from Wilms down the right hand side was a bit better. Yeah, she just gets a hold of it on her left foot, doesn't she? But it's a good effort on the half volley. It's always coming up. She needs to lean over it, but another effort on goal for Villa, and they're looking like the better side at the moment.
Cardinal, oh, again, she's gone for an expansive ball, and it was nearly given away, but Villa themselves have gifted it back to the Lionesses. Godfrey, and now Gayordo. Goodwin is wide on the left, and here is Goodwin, and the cross is deep. Fernandez will try and recover it. And the cross is cleared initially by Kendall. Villa again are very deep defensively, and maybe that's a symptom of a side that have conceded so many goals.
Yeah, I just want to highlight Goodwin just in there. She was obviously coming down the left-hand side. She's the one to cross the ball, but ideally, as your striker, she needs to be the one that's in the box, and she was doing it a lot against the game against Spurs as well. She obviously passed it to Kennedy, but she needs to be the one in the box, getting on them headers, getting on them back posts. She makes the run as a striker. It's tough playing up there on your own, but she needs to be the one that's scoring the goals instead of putting the crosses in.
Kennedy fouled there, and Isabel Goodwin, 16 goals last season in the promotion campaign. She's found it harder going this year, but 5 is a reasonable return at this level.
She's so young as well. She does brilliantly for the under-23s at England, and she's come on leaps and bounds since playing in the WSL 2 for Sheffield United.
And it's the youngsters, Goodwin and Godfrey, who have scored the goals in the main. Pattinson over the free kick here. And it's high towards Kennedy, and safe hands from Roebuck. It will come straight back. Fernandez. Perez. Now Gallardo. Pattinson. Kumagai. A good spell here for London City. Fernandez. Cardinal is forward, but the pass was a bit short, and she's done well to get the free kick. Now Kendall, some room in the midfield. Films is forward again, but the ball to her just forcing her wide, but she's done well to keep that in play. Kichikata. And in the end, it was Godfrey with the clearance after Taylor made the burst forward. And Deslond will guide it all the way back to Roebuck.
Great tackle as well from Kumagai to stop Taylor getting in there, but I think that initial ball from Lucia Kendall out to Vilms on this right-hand side should have maybe been on the floor, so she could have cut in instead of taking it so far wide in there.
Patton. London City have harvested the bulk of their points against sides in the lower reaches this season. Of course, they drew here with Chelsea, and they've also beaten Spurs and Brighton, but all of their other wins and draws have come from sides below them in the table. Now Vilms, and she's unable to keep that in play, but again she wasn't helped by the pace of the pass.
No, I think Anna Patton's pass was right. I think Vilms should have been higher. She should be in between the City to try and give herself a little bit space. She's playing really deep at the moment. I think Anna Patton's saying, get up a little bit and I can play you in front rather than to your feet.
Gallardo. Villa have the throw-in. Vilms. And it's cleared away by Godfrey. Moritz. And then Deslond. She will try and get forward again here, holding off Cascarino, would eventually run out of play. Jean-Francois. Villa heading backwards here, Moritz. They used the ball well. And Lucia Kendall, one of the youngsters in their team, only 21 years of age, but already a full England international. Taylor. Although the family are from Gillingham, she's a Scottish international, and she goes back to Roebuck. We're seeing Gallardo now trying to get a bit closer to Goodwin, because London City do well up to a point, and that point is about 30 yards from the Villa goal.
Absolutely, yeah, they're playing more of a 4-3-2-1 as we go up, but Gallardo's kind of getting up with Goodwin and trying pressing this Villa defence, because they do look a bit shaky at the back.
Kumagai. Closed down by Hijikata. And Pattinson will take the throw in. And it was Perez who was fouled, and it will be a free kick. Kumagai. It's a strong back pass, dealt with well by Leite. But all she can do is boom the ball out on the far side.
Yeah, she had to deal with that from Kumagai and then just bounces up and has to get it out of play.
Hansen. Chikata, the only Villa player inside the area, and then fired in by Taylor. And she's actually cleared the stand, which is some doing.
She absolutely saw her name in lights there, didn't she, Taylor? I think she saw the goal, saw the ball bouncing and thought, I'll take my chance, but maybe it would have been better to try and get a little bit more of a scoring opportunity in that situation with Villa getting high.
I think my car's parked behind that stand, so fingers crossed.
I think mine's there too.
Gallardo. But it will go down as a shot on goal, and there haven't been too many of those in the game so far. Two sides have rather cancelled each other out. Perez. And there we are. 3 shots in total, only 1 on target in the entire game. Villa with marginally more possession, but I would suggest that's probably down to their 2 central defenders having the ball. Kumagai. Godfrey squeezes it infield towards Pattinson, but Jean-Francois is there, and now Wilms, Cardinal, Goodwin, and now Godfrey can take over. She's got Cascarino in space to the right, but goes back to Kennedy. Kumagai. Gallardo. Cardinal. There's a good ball from Perez. Fernandez. Now Cascarino. It's the final game of the season, but she's still probably lacking match fitness following her injury. And now Taylor. Hijikata. Wilms. Oh, and that's been given away by Patton. And here is Godfrey. Goodwin in support. And now Goodwin with the opportunity, and it's wide. Well, the best chance for London City Lionesses so far. It came from a Villa error. And Izzy Goodwin will believe she should have scored.
Yeah, it was Anna Patton that gave the ball away, and Freya Godfrey gets onto it really well. Goodwin takes touch. She ends up toe poking it a little bit just because it's behind her, but it's a good effort and just misses the target. But you'd think maybe as a strike she needs to do a little bit better there, but really good play down the left-hand side from Freya Godfrey.
Would it have maybe favoured a first-time shot with the left foot?
Yeah, maybe, or she needs to open up, and she's obviously right-footed, so she wants it on her right foot instead of taking a close touch back in. She needs to open up and side-foot it into the goal, I think, there.
Hijikata. Good challenge again by Perez. But it's symptomatic of much of what we've seen so far, that the best opportunities have come from mistakes.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot, haven't we? And it's that area again where Villa have given it away in some, you know, some shaky areas, and the Lionesses have latched onto it pretty quickly, and they're very good in transition.
Jean-Francois. Here is Godfrey. 5 goals and 4 assists from her so far this season. Wilms. And now Hijikata. Deslond. Swanga unable to gather that, but it will be a throw-in for Villa. Final 5 minutes of the first half.
Very sloppy down that right-hand side. Villa have given it away there.
But London City Lionesses have gifted Villa their first corner of the game.
Just looks very nervous still to me after 40 minutes. I think a lot of balls are going astray and players giving it away and just can't really settle into it.
And Lynn Wilms will take this. It was Jana Fernandez with the back pass, which went straight out of play. And Villa with 8 set-piece goals so far this season. Wilms floats this one into the near post. Jean-Francois tries to keep it alive, and Cardinal will shepherd it behind. Lorient Jean-Francois is not known as a regular goal scorer, more a midfield enforcer. Kumagai playing out to Pattinson, and Godfrey looking to use her pace, and she was nearly away from Wilms there, but it was good defending in the end because Wilms knew she was in trouble but did just enough. And the Dutch international will take the throw-in. Jakarta. The back heel doesn't quite come off. Pattinson. Patton's header away. Kendall quickly under pressure. When she's given the ball away, Goodwin bouncing off Patton. Does she need support? Well, in the end, it was a decent effort, but it just whizzed over the angle.
I don't know if Isabel Goodwin would have been better to pass it across the face of the goal there, but she does get herself in a really good position again. She tries to get it on that right foot, and maybe on the floor might have been a better option. Good positioning, just leans back a little bit, strike over the bar there.
Well, it's easy to say from here, but the Ritz had come over to try and deal with her, so Gallardo was completely unmarked. Patton back to Roebuck, and Gallardo will close her down, and that's straight to Godfrey. Wilms wins it back. And she's done well there.
Yeah, Godfrey's done well to keep that, close it down, but Wilms does a good job to get out of that situation. She's got a back to goal, and tough to get out of that one. Will Davis, our referee, has not had a huge amount to do so far. It's been a game with very few fouls, but plenty of errors. Cardinal. Kennedy via Cardinal going back to Leite. Pattinson tried to play that first time, and Hijikata nips in. Now Jean-Francois. Kendall quickly closed down, and in the end, the Lionesses get the free kick. Kumagai, a player who has won titles in France, Germany and Italy. And there's no doubt the Champions League is a target here at London City Lionesses, and they've got plenty of players already in the team who have lifted the trophy. Cascarino.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of one
There will
additional
just be
minute.
a single added minute at the end of the first half. We've not had either medical team on. Gallardo. Now Moritz. Patton. All the way back to Roebuck. Kumagai. Straight to Hijikata. And that's a good ball. Nice Swanga. Hansen, and it took a deflection, and Villa will have a corner right at the end of the first half.
It's a good run from Kirsty Hansen there to get on the ball. She goes round the outside, and here we see it. She runs round the outside, gets it on her left foot, which is a favoured foot, and it's just a ricochet off the defender, isn't it? Good opportunity for Villa here to get the ball in the box.
It could be the final chance of the first half. We're into the second minute of added time, and they work it short. Wilms, and now Wilms with a shooting chance all the way through, and Villa have the lead on the stroke of half-time. And Lynn Wilms back in the side today.
Goal for Aston Villa, scored by number 14.
Comes up with the opening goal at the end of a very well-worked set piece.
And we said, didn't we, it'd be set pieces that are instrumental in this game, and they've done well with the short corner down that left-hand side, and Wilms just strikes it, and it goes through a crowd of people into the back of Lette's net.
Well, they seem to have been too over-elaborate there, but in the end, Wilms hit it, and it may have taken the deflection on the way through.
Yeah, maybe a little deflection off Kumagai. Don't know if it looks like it's going in.
Well, it was a double deflection in the end, I think. First Kennedy and then Kumagai, so it may go down as an own goal in the end, but that is half-time.
Next up, we have our merch cannons.
And the tone of both half-time team talks changed by that goal for Aston Villa with the final movement of the first half. Saki Kumagai getting the final touch. Lynn Wilms' shot snaked its way through the penalty area, and Kumagai, the unlucky player, to divert the ball into the back of the net. The first shot on target for Aston Villa, and it comes from a London City Lionesses player, and at half-time, Villa lead by a goal to nil. And it's Aston Villa in the claret and blue who get the second half underway, defending the goal away to our right. And it's a chase for Hansen right at the start, cut out by Kumagai. Molly May Sharp is with us once again. And what do you make of the changes at half-time?
Honestly, I'm not sure why they've brought Poppy Patterson off. Maybe she's got a knock, but I thought she was one of the standouts for the London City Lionesses in the first half. I thought she did really well keeping the ball, keeping it calm and getting it away. So maybe it is just a bit of a attacking change to get forward a little bit more.
Fernandez. And now Perez with the cross in, but it's gathered by Roebuck. And again, Gallardo is an interesting case because undoubtedly she's proven as a world-class player over a number of years, but at times this season, and her fitness hasn't always been 100% due to injury, but she's not quite done it often enough, maybe.
No, absolutely, and I think, you know, this team has very high standards, so maybe if someone's not cutting it, they are willing to just take them off at half-time and put a different player on to see if they can make a bigger impact.
Well, it's quickly played forward towards Naiswanga, and the header down was clever, but the shot from Hijikata was wide.
Yeah, really clever from Naiswanga there. I thought she was going to try head it over the keeper, but it's a really good decision just in the end from Hijikata, just a little bit off target.
We don't know if Gallardo picked up an injury, but she is a player who has often found herself on the sidelines at times this season. And here is Marchetto, the player who has come on to replace her. Alicia Corrales as well, the former Barcelona player. Another of the young players in this team as well, and she will offer plenty now going down the left-hand side. And she's found here. She's quickly given the ball away, and following that goal, Villa have come out with plenty of confidence at the start of the second half. Ellie Roebuck without a shot to save in the first half. There was an early scare when Anna Pattinson had to clear a dangerous cross away in the opening minute, but beyond that, one or two shots whizzing off target from London City Lionesses, but they created very little as Kendall there found herself under pressure and a corner kick's being conceded. I was going to say that the opportunities for London City have come from Villa mistakes, and there was almost another one there.
Absolutely, most of the chances in this game have come from that, but there I think Villa have obviously been told try and play out, because then it creates more space going forward. But sometimes you do just want one of your full-backs or your centre-backs to just put the foot through it and release the pressure and get you up.
Well, no Pattinson on corner kick duty now, so it's Corrales into the near post, headed away by Hijikata. Corrales is able to open out the angle for the cross, which is deeper, and it was kept alive by Kumagai, but gathered by Roebuck.
Yeah, good header from the captain Kumagai there. She gets round the back, just couldn't get quite enough power on it to beat Ellie Roebuck in that Villa goal there.
And there were so many farewells across the Women's Super League today. Sam Kerr has already scored a goal for Chelsea in her final league game for the club as Fernandez comes forward here. Cascarino looking to head to the byline, and the ball had just gone behind before she delivered the ball in. Lucy Staniforth, who is on the bench for Aston Villa today, she will also be retiring following this game. This was the opportunity for Kumagai, who should be very keen to score at both ends, having already netted the own goal, unluckily just before half-time. Hansen, Kendall. And it's back with Leite. She's finishing the season without a clean sheet in her final 10 games. Only 3 in the entirety of the campaign. Godfrey. Oh, and it's been given away, and here's a chance, and a good save by Roebuck to deny Marsetto.
Yeah, good strike from Marsetto, but Ellie Roebuck did so well, just getting a full body behind it and just trying to get as much of a body behind that ball as she possibly could. She's brilliantly to keep it out.
Jean-Francois. And now Naiswanga needs a good ball inside for Hansen, but it's just beyond her, and Corrales will bring it clear.
Well, Naiswanga did exactly what I would have done in that situation. She puts it first time to Kirsty Hansen, but in the end it was good defending from Kumagai there to get in and get hold of Hansen.
Well, this was the earlier opportunity, and it was a really strange ball across from Hijikata. And the shot from Marsetto certainly had power, maybe took a deflection as well, but Roebuck was equal to it.
Yeah, after watching it back, she was so close. I think maybe Marsetto will be disappointed there. She should have done better, maybe just slip it side foot past the keeper, but when the ball falls to you in the box, sometimes all you can do is put your foot through it, and the keeper does well to keep it out of her net, to keep a clean sheet at the moment.
London City Lionesses have already guaranteed the best points return from a newly promoted club, and if they can turn this around, a win would also set a new record for the most victories. But they're pushing hard for the equaliser at the moment. Corrales and the cross, and the overhead kick nearly fell for Fernandez, and it was Goodwin who was trying to improvise there. Cardinal will get there before Naiswanga. Villa have been suspect at the back all season, and maybe the Lionesses are sensing that here early in the second half. Fernandez looking for Kennedy, but it's cleared. Jean-Francois Wilms, it was her shot which was deflected in for the opening goal. She wheeled away to celebrate, understandably, until we saw who got the final touch. Hansen. Cardinal looking to keep up with her, and she blocks the initial cross. Nice Swanga, clever running into the penalty area there, and she can't find Jean-Francois. Now the space and time for Marsetto. Godfrey to her left. Godfrey will deliver the cross in, but she was just forced wide by the pace of the ball, and Roebuck can gather.
Yeah, Marsetto sent her so wide there, didn't she? She plays it, and Godfrey's just not able to get on the end of that pass. Maybe she played a little bit sooner. It would have given Godfrey a shooting opportunity in there, maybe.
We spoke earlier about the number of farewells in the Women's Super League, and it does look as though there's going to be a big turnover of players right across the game this season.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's good for the league. There's a lot of players leaving the teams, a lot of legends of the league going, but I think it gives opportunity for fresh new talent to come through, and that's what we're seeing here with London City Lionesses, with Goodwin and Godfrey being the top scorers for this side.
Nice Swanga cuts that out. And a number of teams have spoken about the need to get the average age down and prioritise young players. Ichikata, and that's claimed well by Leite.
In the WSL, though, having experience is so important. I know that from being in the league last year and not having many players with a lot of WSL experience really hindered us, I think. So I can see why teams do it, but I think their fresh talent coming through, not only England but other countries around the world as well, is so important.
It's going to be interesting. Birmingham are coming up, and I'm sure they'll be well financed, and at Crystal Palace you'll have the benefit of having already played a season, the number of your players at the highest level, and you'll hope to learn lessons from what happened.
Absolutely, I think we definitely will learn the lessons from last season, and we know what it takes to stay up, and with the league expanding as well, I think it's only going to help us and help maybe the bottom 6 teams of the league to make it a lot more competitive.
Marsetto, and that's a good ball, and Fernandez will try and get there before Moritz, who makes the challenge, and a corner kick's been given. And another set-piece opportunity here for the London City Lionesses. And Corrales will take this. And a reminder, Villa have conceded the most goals from corners in the WSL this season, and also the highest number of second-half goals. Corrales with the delivery, and that's dealt with well by Roebuck. Jean-Francois goes through the gears to get there first, and Perez committed to that very, very early, but won the ball. Marsetto, and now Godfrey, Kennedy, Cascarino on the edge of the area, but here it's Fernandez. Cardinal. Villa here once again are very deep. Cardinal pushing off Hansen, and then Kennedy. London City have been at their best today when they've moved the ball with more speed. Kennedy. Perez. And Corrales will get there despite the deflection. And she delivers the cross in, which spins off Patton behind for another corner kick.
Yeah, in the previous corner, Ellie Roebuck did brilliantly to command that box, get out and punch it away. But as we said, Villa struggle from corners, so London City want to get this one and get it in the mixer and see if they can level up this game.
They do struggle from corners, but they scored from a very well-worked one right at the end of the first half. Cascarino will deliver this, and it's driven low. Cardinal will return it to her. And then it's lofted high. Roebuck coming through the crowd, and she got a bit lucky.
Absolutely, she did get lucky. She came out and she tried to punch it, misjudges it, and it just falls really kindly for her to be able to smother that ball and stop Goodwin from putting it in the back of the net there.
Well, it could have gone anywhere. She's gone down, clutching that shoulder. It was Kennedy who got to the ball first, but just couldn't get enough on it. Roebuck has been very good under the high ball today until that moment.
She has. I think she's played really well so far. I think her decision-making's been really good, and when your keeper's calm at the back, it does calm the rest of the team down. But here, the corner goes in. She goes up, she tries to punch it, and it's just a really lucky bounce, and she's fortunate that Goodwin isn't on her toes ready to poke that one home.
It may have been Goodwin who just made contact with her, but when she initially went up, it was her teammates who may have collided with her, as Hansen just has words with Arroyo. And it's been a fairly lonely job for Kirsty Hansen so far, leading that attack.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she struggled today, but it's definitely been hard for Villa to get Kirsty Hansen on the ball. And with the season that she's had so far, that is the person in this team that you would want in front of goal, you know, running at defenders, because she's been their superstar this season and she scored some really important goals for them.
Well, a flurry of shots from London City at the start of this second half. They've had more in the game and more on target. The only shot on target for Villa was deflected in for their goal. London City have been looking to force the issue since half-time. Roebuck is able to continue here. As we approach the hour mark, Villa are just beginning to hang on to their lead here. Perez, and there's Patton. Moritz, looking to drive forward herself here. Nice Wonga. Jean-Francois was on the edge of the area. Kendall, now Deslond. Taylor. Ichikata. Oh, that's won back well by Marcato. And here is Goodwin streaking away. And the challenge right on the edge of the penalty area. Perfectly timed by Deslond. Well, she had to get that right.
What a tackle from Deslond there. Goodwin is through on goal. She's through one-on-one with Ellie Roebuck, and Deslond just slides in and gets just a little toe on that ball to stop Goodwin getting a strike off, but what a tackle.
Well, there's going to be a card here for the challenge on Marceto, because she was taken down as she played it through to Goodwin, but Will Davis, the referee, playing the advantage. Marquetta, who played it forward, and Taylor, the player who gets the card. Just that last touch there from Goodwin took the ball away from her.
She does get a toe on it, Deslond. It's an absolutely brilliant tackle. I almost wonder if Izzy Goodwin should have ran straight instead of diagonal, to, because she were past Anna Patton, she'd ran past her, but Deslond, that is a goal-saving tackle there.
But Marceto looks to be in some trouble here. Taylor, the player who caught a confirmation of her yellow card.
Yeah, she looks to be in a lot of pain, and you know, when physio's got hold of her knee, it's not nice in the game at all. So hope she's okay, and
The knee just seemed to buckle underneath her as she went down. And they will take all the time they need here, but this doesn't look good.
Yeah, she's visibly very upset. We see it again here. She plays it through it. Oh yeah, just looks like impact on the knee there. Yeah, she looks visibly very upset, and they look to be bringing the stretcher on the pitch now.
A player who's only been on the field of play just over 15 minutes, came on at half-time. A player signed from Madrid in February, and we hope this is not a serious injury, but it was the side of that knee that took all of the impact of Taylor's challenge.
And when the stretcher comes out, you always hope it's precautionary, but it's upsetting to see, you know, another player like myself visibly upset on the pitch, and especially when it's around the knee area of everything that's going on at the moment.
There is going to be another change made here. Nikita Paris is preparing to come on. She has a very good goal-scoring record against Villa. 4 in her last 4 games and 6 in total during her WSL career.
Yeah, when people speak about experience, I think she is one of the main ones in the WSL, you know, being around some different teams, but she is a goal scorer, and
she's played for virtually everybody.
Yeah, she has been around quite a lot of teams, but she knows what it is to play in this league. She knows what it is to score goals, and she's helped this team out a lot this season, and I think she's a leader on and off the pitch for them.
But the main concern at the moment for London City Lionesses is Malu Marsetto. And they are very carefully lifting her onto that stretcher. And players from both sides showing concern. And both sets of supporters giving her a great ovation as she heads off. Going to be another change here, possibly Danielle van der Donk will also be coming on.
London City Lionesses, please show your appreciation.
It's van der Donk.
Number 30, Malu Marsetto.
Who comes on for Marquetto.
By number 10, Danielle van der Donk.
Van der Donk, a player of huge experience to bring on, and it's Izzy Goodwin who also makes way for Nikita Paris. Paris with 5 goals this season, but only 1 since November. And she was part of that Manchester City team which won the title a decade ago. And of course, Danielle van der Donk, a Women's Super League winner with Arsenal. And she moved on to Lyon and won everything else. Cardinal. And then Cascarino. Hooked on by Godfrey. And now Godfrey again. Perez. I've always thought van der Donk was slightly underrated during her time at Arsenal, because she was obviously in a title-winning team, but it's maybe only when she left that everyone said what a great player she was.
Absolutely. I think obviously playing in a team with Miedemar at that time, you are going to be kind of overshadowed, but I think it was only when she left people kind of realised the hole that she left in that midfield. Obviously she's come on and looks like she's playing up front today, but she can score goals and she can make chances, so she's a brilliant addition to this side.
Van der Donk will be in a very attack-minded team now, which has Godfrey and Paris also involved. As a goal kick has been given.
And that just shows that London City's obviously not happy with the way that this game's going. They've put on more attacking players, and they want to go and score, they want to go and win the game, which is such a good outlook to have for a club like this who want to keep on moving up that table.
Well, it's the final game of the season, so they may as well try and go out on a high in front of their own supporters, and that's what they're doing here. Perez. Kumagai, her own goal still dividing the two sides. Kumagai has got support from Cardinal, and now Kennedy. Turns away from Hansen. Kumagai. Cardinal. And Fernandez is forward here. But the cross only picks out Deslong. We have seen Jana Fernandez get forward a good deal more in this second half. Kumagai. Cardinal. Kennedy. Kennedy now. A high hanging ball in, and that's defended well by Wilms. She knew that Van der Donk was somewhere in the vicinity, and she concedes the corner.
Yeah, Wilms had no choice there. Good ball from Kennedy, and London City take this corner really quickly.
Paris. Corrales. Van der Donk. And Kennedy at the far post was shaping, but not really in a position to get the header on target.
She doesn't get the header on target, but I think that's more to do with the defending from Deslond. I know she doesn't get touch on it, but she does so much to put her off, and it means Kennedy can't get any power on the header.
Van der Donk with that cross in, but Kennedy under pressure from Deslong. And now at the other end, Hansen looking to close down the back pass, but Leite booms it clear. We're heading towards the final 20 minutes, and Edemaistre has made the changes. Of course, there'll be disappointment, real disappointment about the injury. But as the band plays on, London City Lionesses still strive for the equalising goal here. Villa have had some good away days this season, more than they've enjoyed at Villa Park, and this will be a good way to finish the season. As Perez was just caught there, and Taylor just needs to be careful on a yellow card. Cardinal. Cascarino. Fernandez. Kennedy. Cascarino drifting inside, and the cross again is deep, and it was fumbled by Roebuck and scrambled away eventually with Corrales looking to apply the finish.
It was almost a bit of a coming together between Wilms and Rowe, but there's no communication obviously from them two at the back, and they get away with it.
Paris. Now Kennedy. Cascarino. Going on the outside again and wins another corner kick. Deslond with the final touch.
Deslond does really well there because Cascarino has some lovely feet. She does step overs, and her touch is outstanding, so it's really hard to defend against players like that. So Deslond does really well to stick with her and get that out.
The in-swinger here from Corrales into that 6-yard area, and both teams are appealing. I think it was scrambled behind bar of Villa head, and the referee agrees.
Well, I don't think it was. I think it might have come off a London City head, so I'm the one disagreeing there from my angle.
Well, the referee's decision is final.
Oh.
Well, the corner played into that near post, travels a long way. Is it scrambled in? It is! And And Danielle van der Donk scores the equaliser. And Aston Villa were creaking. And London City finally take advantage. And the weakest team in the WSL at set pieces concede yet another goal.
Danielle van der Donk gets herself back on the score sheet in the WSL. It was a little bit scrappy, wasn't it? Gets cleared off the line and she's just the one. She's just the first one to react, and she's able to put it in the back of the net like she does best.
Well, they had so many opportunities to get that ball away, but it was finished well by van der Donk in the end. She was the player who kept her cool in the midst of a chaotic 6-yard area.
And we'd spoken about it previously, how, you know, Villa are not the best at set pieces, and two coming in straight after each other, maybe a lack of concentration in there.
And van der Donk comes on and comes up with the equalising goal. And Villa, before today, had conceded 11 points from winning positions this season. And they could be about to finish the campaign with a couple more at least. But the pressure continuing here from London City Lionesses. Perez, van der Donk. Once again, she's picking up pockets of room about the Villa penalty area. Nice swinger with the clearance, and Jean-Francois does well to clear. Van der Donk's first WSL goal for the London City Lionesses. And it's her first in the competition for 5 years. Moritz. In the last 15 minutes or so, Villa have barely crossed the halfway line. But maybe now, Hansen. Jean-Francois. Back towards Hansen. Jean-Francois in the area. And it's sliced away. Now Paris. Paris looking for Cascarino. Well judged by Deslond. Taylor. Here is Patton. Hijikata. Now Patton again. And the scoop around the corner for Hijikata. And the cross deflected into the path of Hansen. Unable to gather, and Cascarino will bring the ball away. Kendall wins it back from Perez. Taylor. Now Kendall again. Hijikata. Wilms, and it's Paris back defending. And Villa are suddenly sprung into life.
Yeah, they've had a really good 4 or 5 minutes there, Villa. Good possession in London City's final third as well, and they're really moving the ball down the wings, which I think's opening gaps in the middle for them too.
Jean-Francois. Villa have the throw-in. Wilms will take this. And we've seen 2 very scruffy goals from corner kicks in the game so far. Godfrey released by van der Donk. Plenty of room in behind, and Cascarino will try and exploit it here. Deslong with the challenge, and then Fernandez back towards Cascarino, but Moritz coming over to shut the door. Nice Swonga, losing out to Perez. Now Jean-Francois. Deslond. Jean-Francois. Cardinal holding her up, and Jean-Francois eventually tumbling to the turf to get the free kick. Moritz. Deslond. Jean-Francois was looking to make that run in behind again, and she's done that quite effectively.
I was going to say, Jean-Francois has not stopped running today. I think she's been in behind, she's been in the midfield, but Lete does well to get out of a box and command it there to get a team back in possession.
Cardinal. Cascarino. Now Van der Donk. Cascarino. Looking for support in the area. Corrales now arrives, so too does Paris, and it was Cascarino who maybe went for goal in the end.
Yeah, wrong decision, I think, going for goal from that angle. It's a tight angle, you have to put it perfectly, the keeper's top shoulder, and she's got two players in the box there. A little slip maybe might have been a better option, but again, great feat from her to get an opportunity. But there's a couple of players in there, they're asking for it.
Changes now for Villa. Hijikata is replaced by Ebony Salmon, and Rachel Daly will also come on for Oriane Jean-Francois. And Miri Taylor is replaced by Lucy Staniforth, who comes on to play in the Women's Super League for the final time in her career. Rachel Daly, 2 goals away from 50 in the Women's Super League. Now Fernandez. And it's poked away and quickly won back by Cascarino. Cardinal closed down by Daly. Perez, Cascarino. Cardinal. And Staniforth unable to cut that out. Fernandez. Corrales is wide on the left. And it's Ebony Salmon who is back with her. Corrales. And the cross is nodded away by Moritz. Perez. It's all very tight. Kennedy. And Salmon will clear, but London City have it back again. Cascarino. Paris. They need to watch the offside here. Cardinal. Cleared as far as Paris again. And Patton with the clearance. Hansen. Staniforth just gets a touch, but no Kumagai. Into the final 10 minutes. Perez. It's good running by Godfrey. She can attack the penalty area. And she's deep into the penalty area. And in the end, she's won the corner kick, and Lynn Wilms had no idea which way she was going there.
Freya Godfrey does really well. She twists and she turns, and she gets a team a corner, which we know Villa are not the best at defending, so we'll see if they can get anything from this one.
It's worked short by Cascarino. Corrales into that near post. Daly with the clearance. Fernandez. Well, that's driven low. Nobody able to react at the far post. She does apologise to her teammates. I think she was hoping to pull that back into a slightly deeper area. Kennedy. Kendall winning 2 headers, and now Staniforth trying to dig that out, but it's forward into the path of Paris. Nice Swanga. Villa again finding it difficult to clear their lines. Perez in towards Paris, and scramble behind by Staniforth for a corner.
Aston Villa look really tired there in that midfield. I'm not sure if it's Lucia Kendall's. Obviously she's been on all game and she's had a couple people come on, maybe don't know where they're supposed to be when you come on, but they just look like they're struggling in midfield to get hold of it and get it away.
Corners work short. Corrales, Daly on the end of that. Kumagai. Fernandez. And then Cascarino, and there was a bit of dip on it, but not quite enough.
She went for the spectacular there, Cascarino, and although she's brilliant with her feet, I think that was just a little bit too far out for her there.
More changes for Villa incoming. And it's Georgia Mullet who is coming on.
Number 20, Kirsty Hansen.
Kirsty Hansen coming off. So no goal for her today. Villa's leading scorer this season.
To be replaced by number 18, Georgia Mullet.
Mullet, 20 years of age. Has come through the academy. Does have a couple of goals this season in the Cups. Thumped away by Roebuck. Daly. Now she gets it back. Deslong. Daly. Deslong managing to keep it in play, but no more than that. Well, that tells you that London City have been right on top in this second half. Villa have found it very difficult to have any sort of control in the game. Patton. Van der Donk. Now Fernandez. Fernandez. Kendall. Staniforth under pressure. Title winner with Liverpool back in 2014, but it all comes to an end for her here today. Deslong. And it's back with Roebuck. And Villa at the moment, if they were offered the point, I'm sure they would take it.
At this point, I think they would. When they went 1-0 up, obviously they wanted to keep hold of that lead, but London City have come out this second half really ready and raring to go and definitely had the better chances.
Kennedy. Now Fernandez. And the cross is too deep. And the quality of the crossing has not quite been good enough for London City for much of the day. Of course, they scored from a corner as Paris is penalised for the challenge on Vilms, and it will be a free kick. Taken by Patton. And it's quickly helped on, and Salmon will play it forward. And here was an opportunity. Leite, though, doing well to deny. Nice Swanga, but she plays the cross back in, looking for Daly, and it's scrambled behind for a corner.
And Nice Swanga does so well, but I don't know why she just doesn't try and hit it when she's round the keeper. It's a great opportunity there for Villa to get up in the last few minutes of this game.
Well, can Villa snatch it right at the end here? Nice Swanga, low into the near post. And now the Lionesses can break, but Godfrey was quickly closed down by Mullet. Deslond. Staniforth. It's hammered forward by Patton. Daly in pursuit. Cardinal's challenge, but now nice Swanga. She's got options and time, but Cardinal was in the way of the shot. And Paris in pursuit of this. Both teams pushing hard for the winning goal now. Godfrey just held off by Moritz. And Deslond finding Staniforth. And Fernandez going all the way back to Leite. Fernandez calmly beyond Naiswanga. Perez. Paris. Now Perez. Cut out by Deslond. But it will be a throw-in for the Lionesses as we tick towards the 90th minute. Fernandez. Cardinal. And Kumagai. Kennedy. Van der Donk. And she was pulled down by Kendall, who's beginning to look a bit weary now, and it will be a free kick.
Yeah, that midfield for Villa looks really tired. Especially Lucia Kendall, she covered a lot of ground today, so she'll be feeling it a little bit.
Godfrey. Flicked away by Staniforth. Kennedy will hit it. And she slices it high and wide.
Well, I would like to say that it was teed up perfectly for Kennedy, but she sliced that into the crowd. Just ran across her body, didn't it? And she went with the left. She didn't get hold of it properly.
That there will be a minimum
well, the will be a minimum of 6 more minutes as we watch Kennedy's shot go skywards. Perez. And it's all the way through to Roebuck. Very soon, Molly May will be giving us her Barclays player of the match. But the most significant moment of this game is still to come, potentially. Salmon. I know she's got pace, but closed down by Corrales there. And now Cascarino, and she was just pulled back by Wilms, and it will be a free kick and a yellow card.
Wilms has to do it, doesn't she, to stop the counter against the team.
And it's another free kick here for London City. And they will send everybody forward. Corrales will play this one high towards Perez, but it's cleared, and here is Mullet. Only Salmon in support, and the ball won't find her. And it will be a throw-in for Aston Villa. Moritz. Staniforth. Quickly forward here, looking for Mullet. In behind Kumagai. Daly waits in the centre, but the cross is well beyond her.
Good run from Mullet down there, but just the wrong choice of cross, I think, maybe on the floor to Rach Daly, or even a shot at this point in the game. Just have a shot, might ricochet off the keeper, or might end up getting a corner to get your team a little bit higher.
Leite, now Paris, and she's got support, and here is Godfrey, and Freya Godfrey could be in here, and she's won it! Well, she's had a great season, Freya Godfrey, and she finishes it in the perfect manner.
Well, Freya Godfrey does so well, doesn't she? She latches onto that ball and so cool, so calm, puts it in the back of the net for her team here in Bromley and wins it in the last seconds of the game.
Well, if you're looking for a young player of the season, she's got to be up there. And she was so calm there as she bore down on goal. And the reaction from the coach tells you all you need to know. 6 goals and 4 assists this season for Freya Godfrey. And she becomes only the second newly promoted player to be involved in 10 goals in a Women's Super League season. And the other one was Beth Mead of Sunderland back in 2015.
Substitution for London City Lionesses.
And London City Lionesses make a change. Maria Perez heads off. Everybody wants to celebrate with Freya Godfrey.
By number 60, Julia Rodda.
And Julia Rodda, the Swedish international, comes on for the closing seconds here. And Freya Godfrey has always looked capable of that sort of moment all day, and right at the end she's delivered. And Villa look to be heading for their 4th successive defeat to end the season. Van der Donk. Now Niswanga. Kendall. Niswanga again had that great chance just before the goal. Kendall. Niswanga. Well, the cross is dangerous. Kumagai stooping in. Daly gets the touch, but in the end, Van der Donk will be able to win the goal kick.
Today's attendance at the Copperjacks Community Stadium is 2,982. Thank you to
And
each
it's
and every
been
one of you for playing your
a bit of a
part
rocky
today.
ride, but give us your Barclays Player of the Match.
Well, I think we've got to give it to Freya Godfrey, haven't we? She's been a standout for this team today, and that goal to win it right at the end, she deserves nothing less. So Freya Godfrey for me is the player of the match.
And she joins Beth Mead in fairly good company as a player who's made a real impact in her first season at the highest level. As a first team starter. And now Paris. And she's offside. But Villa have barely seconds remaining here, and there's an injury as well. And
It looks like cramp, I think. I
cramp
think she's
for Godfrey.
gone up for a header and she got cramp in her calf after scoring that goal.
She then had to run around everybody to celebrate as well.
She's still smiling even though she's in pain with cramp as well.
Might be a grimace. Well, I don't think she'll be too concerned. I mean, she's going to be somebody pushing for the senior team on a regular basis pretty soon, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, she's already been in the team, so I think she's definitely one to watch for England, certainly through the next few camps and the tournaments that are coming up.
We're into the 98th minute now. And that's it. It's a winning finish for the London City Lionesses in their first season in the Women's Super League. Freya Godfrey with the winning goal 3 minutes into added time, as they came from behind in the second half. Danielle van der Donk equalising with 17 minutes to go after an own goal from Sakiko Magai had given Aston Villa a half-time lead. But the Lionesses came storming back after the break, and they end the season on a winning note. But for Villa, it is 4 successive defeats. Full-time, London City Lionesses 2, Aston Villa 1. Well, the London City Lionesses wreathed in smiles, and Freya Godfrey will look back on that moment with pride during the summer. And they finish with the highest number of points and the most victories of a newly promoted club in the Women's Super League era. But Aston Villa will have concerns. A season which promised so much has rather dribbled away for them. But when you look at London City, Molly May, the players they've already got and the players they'll be looking to sign, they're going to be one to watch again next season.
Absolutely, you know, they've made their intentions very clear what they want out of this league. They want to get that Champions League spot, and ultimately at the end of the day they want to win this league, so the investment will keep coming, and I think they'll definitely get some world-class players in this summer.
Well, Aston Villa have their post-match huddle. Natalia Arroyo is at the heart of that, and they will look to try and move on from what's been a disappointing season overall. But the London City Lionesses showing some character, coming from behind to win only their 3rd game out of 13 in the second half of the season. And Ede Maestra is a coach who can believe he's got plenty to build on. And let's hear from the match winner and the player of the match, Freya Godfrey.
Freya, congratulations. You left it late, but that must have felt good.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a winner like that, you know, like you said, at the end of the game, nothing beats it. Obviously, the equaliser was quite late as well, and, you know, that gave us the boost that we needed to push on. And, yeah, an amazing pass from Keats to find me, and, yeah, I'm very, very happy.
That was the game where it looked like you really needed to dig deep and show what you had.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously, at the end of the season, games are always tough. You know, people are tired, leggy, and I think that probably showed in the game quite a bit. So, yeah, I'm really proud of how the team, like I said, dug deep, and we kept going and we didn't give up. You know, the perseverance and the fighting, and that's hopefully what we're going to build on for next season.
Freya, you always want to talk about the team, but this season couldn't have gone much better for you, could it?
Nah, yeah, I couldn't imagine that it would have gone this well. And you say I always like to talk about my team. I mean, I wouldn't be here without my team, you know. The staff, the players around me, the trust that they all put in me, yeah.
We all know what London City have achieved this season with the points total and where they finished in the league. But where is this team going next year, do you think?
I mean, we want to keep pushing. Obviously, we've had a historic season with the promoted side, the most points ever. But, you know, this is just the start. You know, we're going to keep building, we're going to keep pushing, and next season we want to finish even better.
And you've got 70 to come and England as well, potentially as well.
Yeah, we'll see, we'll see.
Congratulations again. Freya, you are the Barclays player of the match. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. We good?
Well done,
Thank
mate.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Served. And she is now back in the final huddle of the season. And it's a very good-natured one after London City Lionesses come back to win that game. And Molly May, when you listen to her, a very young player, but a very level-headed player as well.
Absolutely, she's very humble. She's already been through a lot in a playing career, being so young. But she deserves all the achievements that she gets so far. She's been brilliant for this team, and she's really put them on her back quite a lot this season, which for someone so young is such a great attribute to have, and she'll go on and do great things in the WSL and for national team.
And it will be enough to send London City Lionesses into the top half of the table. There's been some late drama elsewhere. We'll confirm the results and the tables shortly, but Brighton have lost in added time against Spurs today, so London City will finish 6th in the table. A top half finish. They'll be the first newly promoted team to finish in the top half since Manchester United, when they came 4th under Casey Stoney back in 2020. And people will say, well, what's the difference between 7th and 6th? But if you're a player, it means a lot, doesn't it?
Absolutely. As a player, you want to do as best as you possibly can, so finishing as high as you can in the table means a lot, and you could see that from the reaction to the goal today from Freya Godfrey and from the teammates and from the fans here. So yeah, you want to do as well as you can, so it makes a massive difference.
And confirmation of the situation: Arsenal beating Everton by a 1-0. Tottenham winning in added time at Brighton. Toko Koga with the winner in the 92nd minute. They're still playing in the match between Chelsea and Manchester United at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea leading by a 1-0, but it won't be enough to earn them second place, because Arsenal have won 3-1 at Liverpool. Leicester heading into the relegation playoff on the back of another loss, 1-0 against Everton. So here are the standings. Manchester City winning the league, 4 points clear in the end of Arsenal. They're both into the league phase of the Champions League next season. Chelsea will go into the qualifying rounds. They're in 3rd, 9 points clear of Manchester United. London City Lionesses finishing in the top half. 2 late goals for Spurs at Brighton, turning things around along with Freya Godfrey's injury time winner here. Villa finishing 9th in the table. Liverpool in the end 8 points clear of Leicester, who will now face Charlton at the Valley in the relegation playoff next weekend. And as Freya Godfrey continues her celebrations out on the field, let's hear from her coach.
Congratulations, that was a dramatic way to end the season.
Wow, a very good way to finish. We was spoken about finishing strong. We suffer goal in a very difficult situation to manage last minute in the first half, so the way we entered in the second half with all the confidence of overcoming the game is something incredible. That mindset that we are creating put us in the possibility of overcome, so I'm very proud of the team.
We spoke before the game about how happy we were to have Freya Godfrey back, and obviously she proved what a brilliant addition she's been this season, and winning the game so late on.
Yeah, incredible. It was like a catharsis, no? We were speaking about Freya. She's moving forward in the way she can perform, and she reached the goal playing as a 9, not as a winger. So she's adding more registers. She's building a more flexible, strong, complete player. So I'm very proud of her.
And the result means London City finish in the top half. Congratulations.
Incredible. All the things is amazing. The way to finish, as I mentioned, is brilliant. The fans, the crowd deserve this kind of wins. I'm very happy to be part of this and can bring these moments to the fans and the club as well.
What is the next stage of the project? What does the summer entail, especially recruitment-wise?
The next step is understanding our first moment in this competition. We reached this position. It's incredible. So it's about moving forward, looking forward to step, and why not dreaming with Champions classification.
Are you thinking Champions League already?
why not? We have to put our aim to these higher standards, and as I mentioned so many times, dreaming big, create reality. So at this moment, why not?
Well, congratulations again. I hope you enjoy celebrations today.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ed. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, big ambitions for the London City Lionesses, a Champions League challenge next season, of course. 4 big clubs already up there, only 3 places currently available, so it's a big ask, but these are a club with big ambitions. And no doubt that Michelle Kang and the ownership will be demanding better performances next season, but no doubt, thanks to the player we see there, they finish on a winning note. Here are the highlights, and it was Freya Godfrey who was involved during the first half as well, and she played it infield towards Isabel Goodwin, but she just poked it wide, and it was the first half of missed opportunities for London, which mainly came from Aston Villa mistakes.
Yeah, they mostly were Aston Villa mistakes, but you know, we see the corner here, it comes in, and this is where Villa get the goal, and it really set the first half off to, like, ended really well, and London City had to come out and really be at the races for the second half, which, you know, they ended up doing.
Yeah, it was Lynn Wilms who fired the shot in, a double deflection, the second one of Saki Kumagai, and that was enough to send the ball beyond Leite. An own goal from the London City Lionesses captain. And as the half-time whistle went, Aston Villa were able to celebrate the lead, but they found themselves under pressure for long spells in the second half, and it was almost an opportunity there gifted to Malu Marceto, and it was a good save from Ellie Roebuck.
Yeah, we think Marceto could have done a little bit better here because she was so close, but it was a good save from Roebuck.
And Villa always have a weakness from corners, it seems, and that was exposed again there as they failed to clear, and it was Danielle van der Donk who poked in the equaliser with 17 minutes to play.
And how nice to see Van der Donk back on the score sheet in the WSL. She did so well to get on the end of that corner, first one to react, pokes it home and sets the team off to try and win this game.
And that was 1-1 in the 73rd minute, her first goal in the WSL for 5 years. And it was London City who dominated the closing stages. Nikita Paris with an excellent through ball, and Freya Godfrey kept her calm to win it in the 93rd minute.
Great finish from Freya Godfrey. Like we said, she's done it all season. Nikita Paris plays the ball through beautifully for her. Well weighted, but it's all about Godfrey getting on the end of this and just cool, calm, slipping it past Ellie Roebuck, who's got no chance in there.
And that was enough to win it and send the Lionesses into the top half. And the end of season presentation's about to begin here for the London City Lionesses. They can look back on a successful season, and it's ended with a victory here today in dramatic circumstances, beating Aston Villa by 2-1. Hope you enjoyed the game. From Molly May Sharp and myself, Nigel Adderley, enjoy your summer. We'll see you soon.
In London City colours.